Hello and welcome to the first Bubble Digital Careers Clinic of 2015 with me, Bubble Social Media Manager Lauren, and our Digital Marketing Executive Scarlett. Hello. Scarlett's offered to help out today because Amy, who normally does this with me, has been feeling a little bit under the weather, so Scarlett's joining us today.
So, the Bubble Digital Career Clinic takes place once a month and focuses on all things digital. We'll take a look at some of the best job vacancies on our job board, talk you through some of this month's blogs, offering you the best job seeking advice, as well as answering your questions about embarking on a career in digital.
So first of all, a little bit of Bubble news. So early this month we took a trip up to Scotland to Glasgow specifically to take on the Eggheads for the TV show, and we had a great time up there, but we can't tell you if we won or not yet, or even how we did. Our lips are sealed, so you'll just have to keep an eye out for when we're on air, but we'll definitely let you know.
So, without further ado, let's have a look at some of the job vacancies we've got up on the site at the moment. So first up, digital agency Inc Digital are looking for a senior digital designer to join their team in Halifax, West Yorkshire. If you've got a minimum of 3 years digital agency experience, can work well within a team and have experience of talking to and meeting clients, then this is the role for you. So if you like the sound of this job, just click the link on your screen to apply.
So next up, coffee retailers Nespresso are on the lookout for a webmaster or e-commerce operations specialist to join them in Chiswick. So if you're an experienced webmaster with experience of website running and an understanding of the online acquisition activities and their impact on e-commerce sites, as well as some knowledge of HTML, JavaScript and Photoshop, then this job could be perfect for you. So if you like the sound of it, just click on the link which should be up on your screen around here now.
Next, multi-channel retailer QVC are looking for a few people to join them in their head office in Chiswick Park, London. The roles include lead designer, e-commerce merchandiser and assistant e-commerce merchandiser. So if you fancy being part of this award-winning international business, then follow the link on your screen now.
Okay, and finally, business group Brookfield Rose are on the hunt for a couple of people to join their team in Knutsford in Cheshire. Firstly, they're looking for a graduate commercial analyst focusing on paid search PPC. So if you're an enthusiastic maths or data analysis graduate or something similar with experience of Microsoft Excel and Word, then this could be a really good job for you to start your digital career, so follow the link on your screen. Also, the group are looking for a digital marketing manager as well, also in Knutsford. So if you've got experience of a similar role, strong project management skills and an understanding of website navigation and architecture, as well as interface and interaction design, then this job could be a really good fit. So again, just follow the link on your screen to apply.
Next up, this month we've been writing lots of blogs on how to answer popular interview questions, because we know these can be really tricky when you're put on the spot. So here are some tips on how to cope with them. First up, it's the dreaded, what are your biggest strengths? This can be a tricky one because if you're not used to boasting about yourself on a regular basis, this can be quite a difficult question to answer. So the first thing you need to do is pick 3 particular strengths and explain them fully. Don't just list a load of strengths. You know, the employer wants you to identify your greatest strengths, and also you want to avoid coming across as kind of overconfident and a little bit arrogant. It's important to be honest. While you want to impress the interviewer, you don't want to lie and name a strength you don't have. So lies always come back to bite you, so just don't risk it. When considering your greatest strength, make sure you keep them as relevant as you can to the role you're applying for. Look at the job spec, experience and the skill requirements, and then think about which strengths you possess that are closely matched to the role. As I said before, a list of strengths won't cut it with the interview. You need to back them up with stories and real-world examples. It just helps to give your strengths more substance and helps to give the interviewer more of an insight into you as a candidate. Finally, don't waffle. You know, the more you talk, the more you could, potentially talk yourself out of a role. So keep it short, sweet, and to the point.
Sounds good. And another one of these tricky interview questions is, have you applied for any other jobs? Not the question you want to be asked in an interview, but it does come up. So it's an awkward one because you don't want to come across as desperate for a job and say that you've applied for thousands, but you also don't want the interviewer to think that you're unambitious and lazy in your job search if you say, oh, I just applied for this one and thought I'd hedge my bets kind of thing. So the best way to approach this question is to keep your answer slightly vague and say that you've applied for a small number of other positions and avoid naming any companies if you can. But remember to stress that this job is your number one choice and the one that you really, really want. Make sure that also if you mention other roles that you've applied for, that they're consistent with the role that you're applying for. So, for example, if you're interviewing for a social media manager role, you wouldn't then say, oh, I've also applied for a UX developer role or a quality assurance role, because they're not even remotely in the same area or ballpark, and it just makes you seem more focused on what you really want to do in your career, which isn't what an interviewer wants to hear. So, there's some tips for you.
So, now's the time where we answer your questions. We've had a couple in over the next few days, in the past few days, leading up to the clinic. So the first one we've got is it worth jazzing up my CV to make it more visually appealing when applying for creative jobs? Or is it best just keeping it simple? Well, a CV is a great way of showing off your skills. So if you're applying for, a creative job vacancy such as, graphic design, artwork, or something along those lines, making your CV stand out visually is a great opportunity to stand out as a candidate. Also, exercise your skills on your CV. The digital industry is known for being a bit quirky and different, so your CV should really reflect this. Also, consider branding your CV up using the company colours, or just use it as a bit of an opportunity to show off your personality. Either way, this is your chance to prove that you're talented at what you do, so make sure you make the most of it.
Also, another question we had in over the last few days is how often should I be posting on my blog to build my online presence and impress employers? Well, there's not really a right or wrong answer to this, but there are a few bits of advice that we can give. The frequency of your blog posts are completely up to you. Obviously, it depends on your situation, other responsibilities and stuff, but once a week is a good place to start, especially if you've got other commitments. However, if you've got something that you really want to blog about and you've already blogged that week, don't be scared to break your routine and write an additional post. Because if what you're going to write is really valuable and really good content, then it's worth writing. Don't just wait and sit on it, especially if it's time sensitive, if it's a reaction to something that's happened in the news lately. You don't want to have to wait a week to post it. It just doesn't make any sense. But just make sure that you are consistent with your blogging. It's no use posting 3 blogs in a week and then not posting for 6 months, because that's not going to build an audience, that's not going to keep people interested and waiting for the next bit of information to come from your blog. And also, if an employer is checking out your blog and they see how inconsistent your posts are, that it doesn't look great, and it just makes you seem like you're not really focused on what you're doing and you're not determined, and they might translate that as that's how it will appear when you're in the office. So that's it for this month's Digital Career Clinic. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed newbie Scarlett. Links to all the jobs featured and the blogs will be in the video descriptions, and they've been popping up on the video as well as we've been going along. So if you want to apply for any or read any blogs in more detail, then you can do.
Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you next month for our next Digital Careers Clinic.
Bye!
Bye!